Hey everyone, Natalie Egenolf here with the Dei Lynam for another Sixers recap. It was a grind last night, D, against the Heat. Ultimately, Sixers almost there, weren't able to pull it off. How did you feel about that game last night?
You know what, Nat, as I was watching that fourth quarter play out, I almost felt that the Sixers were playing not to lose. You know, they were sitting on a lead, and I just felt like they were hoping the clock ran out on Miami when Miami was actually coming down and getting buckets, and they weren't, and they had an opportunity to tie it at the end. I know a lot of people felt like it wasn't a great shot. I thought Embiid's feet were set. He takes that shot a lot. He normally is like maybe one step to his left and
Okay.
straight on. He was a little
Yeah.
to the right. Um, I didn't think he had his best game. I know a lot of people were upset with Tobias because he had a play down the stretch that he didn't make a bucket, and he also missed a
Right.
free throw.
Right.
But I think they're so hard on Tobias all the time. I could find fault in a lot of other places.
Yeah, I mean, he had what was it, seven fourth quarter points and tying in and the game tying shot. So it's
Yeah,
is that more important
but they
or is it not enough?
well, because he makes that max money, I think they always think that that's not enough.
That's
And I
not enough.
think,
Okay.
I don't know how Embiid feels physically. Obviously,
Right.
he's dealing with an abdominal problem,
Right.
but he wasn't at his strength last night. And I love the move of having Thibault in the starting lineup, but when he
Mhm.
goes 0 for 5, that's a problem for me. So, Danny Green's fine coming off the bench, and I think he gave you a lift. I don't think they have a strong enough team when Niang is out. Their bench suffers. And Korkmaz just has not been who he once was at the beginning of this season. So
Right.
I think we're seeing the reality of this team is okay. It's middle of the pack, but it's not
Yeah.
great.
No, it's not great. And then they'll face the Nets tonight. We talked about this, best in the business, but they are without a lot of their players. I
A
mean,
lot.
did last night give you any confidence about tonight, or are you still kind of like this team still doesn't have exactly what they need? They still seem to be like lacking some sort of cohesiveness, and there's like they look a little lethargic at points, and I'm just like
They do. They
they're,
do.
they're
You
just
are
lacking. Yeah, they're just lacking
absolutely correct.
some energy, and I always wonder, I'm thinking, is it from the COVID, like the fallout of the COVID stuff? Because I feel like that's hitting not only the NBA, but it's, now it's widespread. It's in the NFL too. And you're not seeing these guys at like 110%. So I always wonder if that factors in. But what do you think we're going to see against the Nets?
Well, if you can see more of the Embiid that we see every day, I think you give yourself a fighting chance. Obviously, with all of the people who are out for the Nets, including Harden,
Yeah.
but they do have Durant, and Durant to
Yeah.
me he's the cog.
Right.
So they're 20-8 on the season. The Nets are. I think they're a very good team in their own building.
Yeah.
And the Sixers are going to need something different than we've seen these last couple of games to be able to beat a team that's pretty good in your conference.
Well, it's going to be an interesting one. Thanks so much for checking in with me, Dee. We'll catch up tomorrow, next week. We'll figure it out. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, and download the Park Sportsbook app on your phone and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.